Welcome back, kids. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared here with Bob. We're back on Zooms. We're finally caught up. Well, I guess the last show we were caught up too. So we're finally back in the swing of things. This episode is going to come out in a timely manner. So it's not going to be like, 2.5 weeks before. So I'm just going to kind of jump right into this. I went to the movies last Thursday. Yeah, on Veterans Day. And I saw Eternals. Well, Amy and I saw Eternals. I'll get into that in a little bit. But I like to like be there a little bit early, right? Because I like to catch the previews. Like I like to see the movies that are coming out. Like I think when I went for Shang-Chi, there was a preview for James Bond. There was a preview for another movie that looked pretty good. But I like that. I like the hype. I like the hype stuff. I like the trailer. Like, oh, wow, that's going to be a cool movie, whatever. There were only 2. So I don't know how many previews they played. Normally it was 5, 6-ish, maybe. There were 2 that I actually was like, I want to see this. So obviously there's no spoilers here either because it's a fucking trailer. So you can go watch this yourself. But The Matrix 4 is coming out. Looks interesting. I'm sure it'll be fine. I need to go back and rewatch the Matrix movies. Because I was talking to Amy because I saw it and I was like, oh, wow. Like, obviously I love Keanu Reeves too. But I was thinking and I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen the third one. I think I might have only have ever seen the first 2. And the first one, phenomenal, obviously. Like The Matrix, the original is, a lot of people will put that in some of their best movies ever. Like it's just well done, like cinematography and like all that shit, like plot line. You know what I mean? It's just an all around great movie. The second one, was okay. Wasn't great. And then, like I said, I don't think I ever saw the third one, but I think I've heard really bad things about the third one.
So here's a question for you. As someone who owns the original Matrix, watched it once, probably when I was like 12.
Yeah.
And sat there and didn't understand it one fucking bit. Do I need to go back and watch it or am I just too stupid?
I would go back and rewatch it because I watched the original Matrix not that long ago, at some point over the summer. I think it was either on TV or I saw it. It was like on one of the streaming services and I had nothing to do. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll watch the Matrix. And it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, they almost because I do own it.
Yeah.
Or I think I own it. I don't even know what my DVDs are. I think
well, it's funny and it's interesting because like obviously we've talked about it before, like this whole like metaverse thing. We're kind of like trending towards the real life Matrix. So it's just interesting just to see like, oh, okay, I could totally see how we could get there. Whereas when the movie came out in 1999, everyone was like, oh yeah, it's crazy, sci-fi, whatever. Like it's a great movie. Everyone shit their pants over it, rightfully so, because it's a good movie. And but they were like, yeah, that's kind of fucking crazy, right? And here we are 23-ish years later. And I'm like, yep, I can totally see that happening. It's to the point where I look at it like, is that really still classified as sci-fi?
Yeah, this just feels like fucking life.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one that's coming up, The Matrix 4. I think it comes out in December. And then the other one that I'm actually more excited for, mostly just because I love the series. I don't know. Like I said, you'll have to go watch the trailer and let me know for yourself. Because there's potential for it to get wonky, but The Kingsman. Now, this would be the 3rd movie from the Kingsman franchise. However, this is going to be a prequel. So the name of this is called The King's Man. So like not like the previous, the Kingsman, and then the Kingsman 2, Golden
It was
Circle.
like when it was the Fast and the Furious, and they just came out with Fast and Furious.
Yes. But this is a prequel.
Who the fuck is making 7 figures to fucking come up with this shit too?
Yeah.
Because you know someone is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We could name this the King's Man.
Yeah, it's like just close enough to like Kingsman, but like I put no. It's almost like the Jim Gaffigan skit when he makes fun of Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer, where the guy comes up with the map song and he's just like makes it up like on the spot. It's like, this guy was out the night before, bombed, and it was like, all right, we need a title. Fuck, I'm gonna puke on myself. Kingsman. The King's Man, add a space.
Yeah. Same thing. Exactly.
Or add the and a space in between the word.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Genius, guys. I'm telling you, it's genius.
Yeah. So when the trailer first kicks off, I had no idea that it was going to be like the Kingsman franchise, because it starts off with who would appear to be, and now again, this is where I said there's a potential for things to get wonky. It would appear to me would be Gregory Rasputin, who is one of my favorite characters of all time from history, just like in general.
Now, when you say character, you mean person.
Well, yeah, real person. Yeah, but like he is a character. Let's be real. For anyone that has no idea who Rasputin is, and you may or may not know the song "Rah Rah Rasputin," but he was a figure in Russian history. Like, I don't know what to call him. Like, call him like a wizard or a doctor or whatever he was. No one really knows. What is that? Soothsayer, a seer. I don't know. He was this fucking crazy guy in Russia that was an aide to one of the czars, I think. And something happened along the way. Maybe the czars got overthrown. Yeah, that's probably what it was. And people chased him down and they tried to kill him. So what they did was they poisoned him. Then, so like they like put poison in his like fucking beer or whatever. And they're all like, yeah, cheers, woo. Everyone drinks. Rasputin doesn't die. And they're like, oh shit, what the fuck happened? Like, I don't know. So then they shoot the guy. And they're like, oh yeah, he's definitely dead. Well, he wasn't dead. He survived being shot, I think multiple times too. Gets up, gets chased down by whoever was it, the Bolsheviks, the Bolshevik Revolution that overthrew the czars.
The legitimate details, I don't know.
Yeah, no facts. We don't let facts get in the way of stories here. So we'll call it the Bolsheviks, because why the fuck not? So they chase him down after they shoot him. They tried to poison him. Then they catch him. They get him, and they throw him off of a bridge into a river. Now this is in Russia in the wintertime. So the river is really fucking cold. He did not make it out of the river. He did die eventually. However, when they got his body, they found that there was mud underneath his fingernails. So despite being poisoned, shot, thrown into the river, he still tried to crawl his way out of the river. And then eventually he died. So Rasputin, like I said, and I could have forgotten one thing in there too. Like, I feel like there might be one other attempt on his life too. But he's one of my favorite.
Stab him, or no, I'm sorry. Someone probably successfully stabbed him and that didn't kill him.
Yeah. Like he's seriously one of my favorite figures from history, like of all time. Maybe is Vinny Russian? Is Vinny a descendant of this guy? Either way, I digress. So it's the Kingsman. Yeah, it's a movie we're talking about. The trailer starts out with this guy who appears to be Rasputin. And then Ralph Fiennes pops in. So that's when I was like, oh, okay, Ralph Fiennes is in this. Like, that's pretty cool. And there's a couple other people in it. And then, they go about whatever they're doing in the trailer. And then at the very end, you see the stamp of like the K with the fucking thing on the ring. And then it flashes the title, The King's Man. So I'm interested in that one. Like I said, is potential it gets really goofy. But I'm open to it. All the other ones sucked. All the other I couldn't even tell you what the previews were, what the other ones were. No recollection, nothing. So yeah, that's that. Just think they might be good.
Yeah, so honestly, I hadn't even seen the trailers.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But I would say I did watch Shang-Chi and the new Bond. No Time to Die.
Nice. Oh, you did see it?
Yeah.
Sweet. You said is it on Amazon?
Yeah, you gotta pay for it, but
yeah, I mean, whatever. It's fine. That's the same amount of money as if I went to the movie theater.
It's probably cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, unless you go to a matinee, because me and Amy went on Thursday during the day, and it was like $12 a person. I think after like fees and all that bullshit, it was $27 for the two of us. Which I think normally it's like $22.50. Like if you go like prime time for one ticket, or like $22.75, like something like that. So, yeah, either way, whatever. What'd you think of Shang-Chi?
It was good.
Kicked ass, right?
Yeah, no, that was good. I liked it. I don't necessarily know what it opens the door for.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought the same thing about Doctor Strange, and that seemed to mesh pretty seamlessly. So
yeah. Yeah. People at Marvel typically know what they're doing.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
And I say typically because, like I said, I saw Eternals, and again, there's no spoilers here. I'm not going to spoil the movie. It literally just came out last week. However, I am going to talk a little bit about the construction of it. So if you want to count that as a spoiler, one, you can go fuck yourself. And two, just go ahead and skip like, I don't know, 5 minutes ahead, I suppose. So the Eternals was not that good. Amy and I both agreed after we saw it that there was something about it that was just like, it was a fine movie. Like I didn't walk out of there being like, that sucked. Like I wasted my money. You know what I mean? Like I didn't do that, but I was like, it's okay. You know, like it's fine, I guess. Like it wasn't great. Like I didn't love it. Like I walked out of Shang-Chi being like, holy fucking shit, that was an amazing movie. I can't wait to watch that again. I thought like it was very well done. Eternals, not so much. Left a lot to be desired. There was, I think, so after I've thought about it a little bit more, I think for me, there was too much going on. And I think, I don't know. I don't know how much of this has to do with them using already prominent people in this movie, right? So the difference between the Eternals and the Avengers, like the whole through phase 4 from Marvel, is they took, now I use this term loosely, but they took relatively unknown people, and now they're the biggest fucking actors in the world. Like if you asked me what you like, if you go back, you go in a time machine to 2007 and you say, what do you think about Chris Evans? Someone would be like, who?
Johnny Flame.
Yeah, Johnny Flame. Or like, what are your opinions on Scarlett Johansson? They'd be like, I don't know. I don't have any. I've never seen any of her movies. You know what I mean? It's like that. So now they're huge. Or like, what do you think about Robert Downey Jr.? They'd be like, well, he's a fucking drug addict. You know, so they took people that were not big and they made them huge. Now the Eternals has people that are already mega stars. Like Angelina Jolie is in the movie. So she's a fucking huge star. Selma Hayek is in it. She's huge. Richard Madden. Now he's one that's not as big, but he's still hugely popular from Game of Thrones.
Takes. I don't even know who this guy is.
And he was Robb Stark in Game of Thrones. He also, and this isn't so much in the United States, but from a global perspective, he was in this TV show called I forget what it's called, Bodyguard, that I watched. It was on Netflix. It was a British show, but it was like essentially he was like a knockoff James Bond, which was why after he did that TV show, he was the running favorite to take over as James Bond, because he did that British show Bodyguard, whatever. So Richard Madden, again, pretty big star. Not a mega star like Angelina Jolie or Selma Hayek, but pretty big. Then you've got, I'm going to fuck up his name, but it's like Kunjar Kamatapatali, the guy from the Big Bang Theory. He's in it, the Indian guy. I think he used the Big Bang Theory. I don't know. He's in a big sitcom. He's in it. Trying to think of who else. I mean, Kit Harington is in it. He's a massive star, but Kit Harington doesn't have a huge role in it.
No, so actually, I would actually argue Kit Harington is probably the perfect person that you described originally, where it's like you say Kit Harington, I go
Jon Snow.
Rod Flanders, right?
Yeah.
So he was in Game of Thrones, but that's all I know him from. He played one role. Whatever else he's done, not important. He's done one thing. So like Chris Evans, Johnny Flame, Robert Downey Jr., drug addict. Mark Ruffalo, don't know what he did before, but people know who he is.
Yeah.
Like they had Ed Norton, and they couldn't keep him.
Right.
So like Kit Harington actually is. Him and probably the other guy, they're probably two of the what you would be looking for, where they're popular but not crazy popular. It's like when they pick the next Bond.
Yeah.
Like every guy that they've picked was an actor, wasn't like something, small things here, there, whatever, but they weren't really famous until
they became James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like for all the original Avengers, they're probably not going to do a whole lot else. Like, I mean, they probably don't have to.
Right.
But that's kind of like where it kind of ends too. And it's like, I know Daniel Craig did Knives Out. Knives Out was good, but it's not going to do a ton more movies. He's fucking James Bond.
Right. He doesn't have to work either. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know if that took away from it a little bit, because they have these already established big people. And I don't know if and now I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Like, I don't know if they have agents that are like, I need X amount of screen time, or you know what I mean? So, because Angelina Jolie was on it a lot, but she wasn't the main character. So, it's whatever. It is what it is. So like I said, that took a lot. There was a lot of like random side plots too. And for what it's worth, I don't know that it was good to be done in like 2.5 hours. Because there's the Eternals, there's 10 of them. Again, no spoilers here. This is facts. There's 10 Eternals. So again, some of them are huge megastars, some of them are unknown. None of the megastars were really kind of the main people in there, but they took away a lot of screen time. I don't know. It was weird. They each had their own little kind of like subplots too, sort of. It was too much for me, I think, a little bit. Again, movie didn't suck, but it just wasn't great. Where they lost me was the Hollywood wokeism. I'm going to run down again. No names. I'm not going to name names of all this stuff, but this is the things that I've noted. I'll go through all of like the people and stuff like this. So Eternals, the wokeness. There was a gay black man that was married to a Muslim man in this.
So that checks
gay, black, and Muslim.
Okay, so that's 3.
There was a deaf girl. She's legitimately deaf, like in real life. She's an actress.
Okay.
So there was a deaf girl. There was an Asian woman who was the de facto lead character of the movie.
Yep, that's 2.
there was the Indian man, the Indian male, right? That's the Kunjar, whatever his name is, the guy from fucking Big Bang Theory.
Please tell me it was an Indian male playing a Native American male.
No, he played an Indian. Part of his thing was he was like a Bollywood star. Then you had a teenage girl. Then you had a younger male that was like kind of like a beta, like, you know, like that, like whatever. Then you had a brawny Asian man who was portrayed similar to Wong in like the Doctor Strange stuff. You know, just stocky, like, you know, like that type of guy. And then again, no spoilers here, but what ended up, who do you think was the villain of the movie?
White guy.
A white alpha
Straight
male.
white man.
A white alpha male was the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the bad guy in real life, right?
Yeah. Yep. So you combine all of that, and that's what kind of put it too much for me. Like,
in fairness, in my unserious take, white people ruin everything so good, it's about time.
yeah.
In my actual thing, it's the same criticism of Charlotte. It's like they just, instead of just going with the movie and picking characters, and yeah, do you want to whitewash the whole thing? Probably not, but instead it's like they check all these boxes, and for what? Does it add anything to the storyline?
No.
And it's like if the Indian Eternal is actually Indian and that's the character is Indian,
right,
then yeah, you probably want an Indian actor,
right,
or someone who can play an Indian.
That's a good point too. I don't know what the comic books were. I don't know if they were like that in the comics.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't, but at the same time too, it's like it doesn't have to be. Like, it really doesn't necessarily have to be.
No.
But it's also not like the worst thing in the world if that's kind of the case.
Right. So the one thing I said,
when everything checks every box.
Yes. They literally went to check every box.
Yeah. And like, for what? What did it add to the storyline?
No. And that's what I said. And I said it to Amy when we left, was I don't care. Like, about the, like, it doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of these people, clearly, obviously, like, hopefully if you've been listening to the show long enough, you know, I'm not a fucking piece of shit. Well, I am, but not like that much. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I don't like the movie because there was a gay guy in it. No, that's fucking stupid. But I don't give a shit about the sexual orientation of a superhero. It does nothing for me. I want to watch a superhero movie because I want to watch shit get fucked up. I want to watch explosions and fights and combat, and throw in a stupid love story that I don't even care about that either. Like, I'm not in it for the love bullshit. I'm in it for the action. Like, I could give two fucks what sexual orientation, fucking gender identity, any of these fucking superheroes are. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Do whatever the fuck you want. Why put it in the movie? You know what I mean?
It's like how, and I'm going to say this because it's not any details of the plot whatsoever, but it's like how they made Q gay in James Bond.
Yeah.
So not only was it a fraction of a second part of the movie,
yeah,
it added nothing to the movie.
Correct.
And that character's contract is up. He might not even be in the movies going forward.
Right.
I'm sorry, not the character, the actor.
Yeah,
the actor's contract is up.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe he's coming back.
Which is a shame, because that's the one thing in James Bond where, like, Q was the continuity. You know what I mean? Like, they always had the same Q for, like, there's only been 4 Qs or 5 Qs through the last 65 fucking years they've been making James Bond movies.
Yeah, I mean, so it was Desmond Llewellyn forever.
Yep. Llewellyn.
John
Before
Cleese.
that, it was, John Cleese was in there.
might only be 3, dude.
Yeah, and that's
unless there was one random guy like the George Lazenby.
I was good thing. That's why I was thinking
like,
the Lazenby probably had all different people.
He was so by then it was Desmond Lewin, whatever. But I think I would actually say it's most likely that they've only had 3, and if they had a 4th, it would be like 15 total seconds of airtime for the guy.
Yeah, yeah. So it's and you know what else they did too was they snuck that into Loki. Remember the
Loki's
the TV show? Loki's bisexual now. Again, I don't care. Like, he could be bisexual. That's awesome. Good for him. I don't give a fuck. But I don't care about the sexual orientation of my fucking superheroes that I'm watching.
Dude, he could be sexually attracted to fucking like lamps or fucking He could be Rick Tamlin. I wouldn't fucking care.
He could fucking break out of that fucking TVA time zone and go suck dick underneath the bridge in fucking LA for all night long so we can get money to fucking pay for, I don't know, crack cocaine. I don't care because it's a good show. It was a great, like, Tom Hiddleston was awesome as Loki. Like, it was a great show. It was very well put together. I don't give a fuck about his sexual orientation. Why do you have to shove that in there? It's like, it's Hollywood fucking being like, oh, hey, by the way, we're still here. Oh shit. It's almost like they feel bad. They're like, oh, we have a white male lead. Well, we'll give him a counterpart female. Oh shit, she's white too. I don't know. We have to make the white male bisexual. Cool. All right, done.
I'll tell you what it is. And you already know what it is. You're just forgetting. It's Aunt Jemima. It's Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood going.
Yep.
Heck, we care about all of these minorities.
Yeah.
And sexual orientations and religions. Remember that time we made Q gay? Yeah. That's because we care about you.
Remember that time we made Loki bisexual?
We care about the bisexuals. That's what they're doing.
Remember that time we had the black gay Eternal who was married to a Muslim man?
Now, have they done anything to help those populations out?
No.
Guaranteed no.
No.
But they can turn around. Hollywood can turn around and say, yeah, we see that black people are getting, they're still not happy with their situation and they're still getting shot by cops, whatever. But do you remember Black Panther? That's all Hollywood does.
The all black cast except for the villain who was a white guy.
Yeah, and not in Black Panther.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
Dude, he was. Michael B. Jordan was the bad guy.
Oh, I know, but still, like, Andy Serkis like started out. He was the yeah.
So I don't know. It's all the same shit.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
They don't actually care, but they want you to think that they care.
Yeah, and like you said, it didn't add anything to the movie. And for me, I could make the argument it almost took away, because I'm sitting there watching the movie being like, why? So the other thing too is I noticed it. And I'm not going in there looking for it either. I don't go into any of these movies being like, I'm going to look and see if I can find this woke bullshit. No, I'm there. Like I said, I'm there to enjoy the movie. I want to have fun. I want to watch shit get blown up, and I want to watch fight scenes, and I want to watch people like do cool shit like they're superheroes. And when I'm sitting there,
especially with the Eternals, which they're all celestial gods or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, how does this tie in with the Watcher? How does this tie in with?
Right. I'm paying attention to that shit. I'm trying to look for like the little bits, like, because that's what Marvel does. Right now, we know that's how they did phase 1 through 4. There's like little drops in each movie that like they all tie in when they all come. We've talked about it on the show. When they eventually get into phase 6, we'll go back and look at phase 5 and be like, so dumb. That's the connecting piece between Loki and Shang-Chi. Or that's obviously why the Eternals are tied into what it, you know what I mean? Like, it'll all make sense afterwards. So I'm trying to pay attention to that shit. And then also just enjoy the movie because I'm there for entertainment. But when I'm sitting there and I'm like, Wait a second. You've got you got a black gay guy married to a Muslim man. You got a deaf girl. You got an Asian woman lead. You got an Indian guy. You've got a teenage girl. You've got the villain is a white alpha male. You've got like a beta male who's an eternal who ends up like being cool as fuck. You know, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, don't do this shit. Don't pull, you know, it. So it, like I said, like I could make the argument. It took away from the movie for me because I noticed it. You know what I mean? Like I shouldn't notice that. Like I shouldn't leave there being like, dude, they clearly just wanted to check every fucking woke box that they could.
Sounds like you're just a bigoted Trumper.
Yeah. I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Sounds like you were at the Capitol on January 6th.
Yeah.
Sounds like you sold Kyle Rittenhouse his gun.
That's another hilarious thing. I don't want to get into that, but
I mean, that's a joke. Like that acting is so bad.
Well,
he should have been in the Eternals.
It's not that. It's, have you been following it at all?
No, and I don't care outside of him doing that fake cry on the fucking stand.
That's neither here nor there for me. He's, if it's fake or real, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Talk about a kid who's never had to lie in his entire life.
The problem is the prosecution. The prosecution in that case is like, you would think he is like fresh out of fucking law school. He's like a middle-aged guy who's been practicing law forever. He has fucked this case royally, and I think Rittenhouse is going to walk.
Everyone thinks he's going to walk. And it's not because of it's not because they don't think he is guilty. They think it's just going to get fucked and he's going to walk.
Well, the prosecutor's a fucking moron. He's been getting absolutely fucking shredded by the judge for the entire time. And now I'm not a lawyer.
Because I heard at the gym the judge is biased, though. That's why.
Yeah. Because I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be one. I don't know dick about law or anything like that. But the lawyer literally was fucking chastising him or chiding, whatever the fucking word is, the entire time, being like, this is not the time to bring this up. We had evidence that was procured for this time and you let it pass. Like whatever it was, like for him to do like a rebuttal or whatever, it had passed. And then he tried to bring it back up at a later date. And the judge is like, that's not how we do law here. Like, we don't just get to like, you know, be like, oh, hey, remember that thing 4 topics ago that we said, oh, everybody rests on? Oh, the fucking prosecution rests. Yeah, you rested. You don't get to come back 4 topics later and bring it up. Like, that's not how this works. So that, like, every video I've seen is the judge absolutely fucking ripping into this guy because the prosecutor is a fucking moron. He has no fucking clue what he's doing. He's like trying to do dumb shit. It's crazy. It's wild. Like I said, I don't know. The fact of the case is he shot and killed 2 people and shot and wounded another person. That's the fact. It's not for me to determine whether or not it was in self-defense or egregious intent. But he was 17 years old at the time in a precarious situation. Did he make a good call? I don't know. Would I have been able to make a good call at 17 years old carrying a fucking rifle when dudes are running at me? I don't know. I probably would have shot them too. You know, like it's one of those things like I'm not here to pass judgment. That's not my job. That's the job of the jury and the judge. So I think when eventually, if he does get off, everyone's going to lose their shit. But it's like, this is the process. Like, this is why we live in the greatest country in the world. Like, who was it? Was it Ben Franklin or somebody? Hamilton? Someone said,
was it our greatest president ever?
Yeah, the greatest president of all time, Benjamin Franklin, who invented electricity.
I think it was after he invented electricity.
Yeah, I think it was very shortly after he invented electricity. He made the statement that said, I would rather, I'm going to fuck this up. I would rather 100 guilty men walk free than 1 free man be named guilty. Or one, you know, and that's how our law system works. We're one of the very few countries in the entire world where we presume innocence and you have to prove guilt. A lot of countries in the world, you're presumed guilty. And then you have to prove that you're innocent.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, this country's still very flawed. There's a lot of people in jail that shouldn't be.
No, 100%. Well, that's a totally different topic because
yes, it is.
that's fucked.
I was talking, but
because
see,
the prisons are privately owned and they're funded by the government, and because they're in the government contract, they say that they have to keep a certain capacity in order to continue to receive funding. You can get fucked. So the prison system is fucked. But the overall, as a from a 30,000 foot view, our judicial system, I believe, is better than most others in the world. Is it perfect? No, far from it. But just because it's not perfect doesn't mean that it's not one of the best ones in the world.
So I'm also going to tell you that so obviously all the COVID bullshit has given people opinions, allowed them to be loud.
Yeah.
And now it's like, if you're very opinionated, it somehow becomes true, or
right.
to go against the loudest opinions, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Dude, people have forgotten how law works in its basics, because we're not lawyers. We're not even law students.
Correct.
We've only had the closest that we've come to law is we had a law student on here one time.
Yes. Yep.
That is the closest we are to law.
I've been in handcuffs once too, so that's pretty fucking close.
So
I touched law.
I've paid bail. So I have people saying, now this kid's on trial for murder or homicide, whatever.
Yeah.
Two counts of homicide.
Yep.
Right? Or does he get tried for each count? I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I think you can go after each count.
Okay. So I think he's on trial for 2 counts of murder. Now, I have people at the gym that I'm listening to, and they're bringing up everything but the murder. They're like, well, he has to be guilty because he's not supposed to have that gun. No, that's not how the law works.
Right.
The law works that if he was on trial or had a hearing regarding illegal gun ownership, then he would potentially be guilty of illegal gun ownership.
Correct. He's not on trial for that.
He's on trial for homicide.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter how he obtained what he obtained. They're just questioning, did he kill these people under whatever
with malicious intent?
Yeah, like again, I don't know the ins and outs of the cases. I don't really care.
Right.
But people have, because people think that he should be in jail. Now they're starting to forget how our judicial system works, how the courts work.
Well, it's the Twitter mob. They want to apply the Twitter mob principle to real life.
Yeah, and it's like, I want him in jail, so just get him in jail. And it's like, no, that's not how this works.
Right.
And yeah, is he probably going to walk when he probably shouldn't be? Most likely, I would say the betting odds are that he is going to walk and he is also guilty.
Right.
He will not be proven guilty in a court of law.
Right.
And actually, because truthfully, by that statement, he did kill those people. Like that, there's no dispute.
So, I mean, we're going to, you can play word salad and it's semantics and all that bullshit, but like, is he guilty of killing 2 people? Yeah. And I use the word guilty, and I know it's kind of a double entendre in this case because
he did. But in a court of law, like, you can commit a crime and in a court of law not be guilty.
Yes, correct. So that's what I mean. Like the word guilty in and of itself, like did he do it? Did he kill 2 people?
Yes. He committed the crime.
Is he guilty of homicide? I don't know.
Yeah. But in a court of law, now it's going to be very complicated.
Yeah. But so I heard someone talking about that they fucked up. Well, the prosecution has fucked this entire case from the beginning. But I heard some people talk about on other podcasts that they tried to make this kid into an example. Because it also happened during the Jacob Blake thing where there was riots. So he's a white male. They're trying to go at, like, they tried to turn him, make an example out of him. Jesus, that was hard to say. And instead of going after him for 2 counts of homicide, what they should have done was go after him for reckless endangerment and also unlawful gun ownership. And they would have gotten those charges. But they tried to go too fucking far. And now maybe this is something, I haven't been following it super closely. So maybe if Mike and Sexy Chris are listening and they want to enlighten me a little bit more, feel free. I'm always open to it. But, you know, I don't think he's being charged with those. So like I said, I heard someone be like, well, if they just went after him for reckless endangerment and unlawful gun ownership, they would have nailed him. But I think the prosecution tried to make an example out of him and said, no, fuck, we're going for 2 counts of homicide. And it's like, do you dickheads realize how difficult it is to convict someone of homicide? Especially when there's video evidence of this kid. And it's like, you can see in one of the videos, I think it was the dude that got shot in the bicep that didn't die. So the third guy that didn't die, you can see in the video, like, this is the one part that I saw. They were like, all right, here's in the video. Rittenhouse does not have the gun pointed at you, correct? Yes. Is your gun pointed at Rittenhouse now? Yes. In the following frame. Now is Rittenhouse's gun pointed at you? Yes. So, like, and the guy admitted in court, he was like, yeah, he didn't point the gun at me until I pointed my gun at him. And it's like, okay, well, that therein is the fucking self-defense.
Even if like, regardless of what it is, you have made the fucking waters real muddy.
Yeah.
Because
and now so this is the other thing too, where, to be fair, right? Because I do want to be totally fair. No one knows anything. There's a fucking riot going on. This guy that got shot in the bicep, who pointed the gun at Rittenhouse, might have thought that Rittenhouse was fucking killing, like, part of the riot, like killing people. So maybe this is a totally fucking guy with good intentions that's like, hey, put the fucking rifle down. And now he's like, oh no, what do I do? And he points and fucking shoots because he's 17 years old. You know, like, there could have been a total miscommunication or a breakdown in communication there. I would say, I'd be willing to bet there was probably a 99% chance that there was a massive breakdown in communication between bicep guy with a gun and Rittenhouse. Now, the other two, I don't know. I don't know too much about them other than one of them was a pedophile, and everyone on the right is like, see, this guy died doing what he did his entire life, like trying to go after like young children, whatever. And it's like, oh, spare me your bullshit. Spare me your bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, stop. Yeah, just stop.
So this is a pretty good example of where both sides are being completely unreasonable.
Yes, exactly.
Like, the liberal side wants him in jail, like, regardless of how he gets there. Yeah, just put him in.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not how the courts work. That's not how the justice system works.
Right.
And you got the right side going, oh yeah, well, of course, he's a predator. Good. And it's like, well, the fuck, man.
Yeah.
I don't want any fucking predators, pedophiles, any of them walking the streets. I really don't.
No.
But, like, dude, it's a murder case. How do you sit there and, like, fucking champion it?
Yeah, exactly. So, like you said, both sides can get fucked on that one. And I think that's a good way to put a bow on that and moving right along. Have you seen, this is hilarious. Have you seen the stuff between Markieff Morris and Jokic? What's his name?
Jokic.
Yeah, what's his first name?
I don't know. Nikola?
Yeah, Nikola Jokic. Have you seen that? Have you seen that stuff? What happened?
Well, I don't know. Like, the Jokic brothers are a thing now?
Yes. This is amazing. I love this.
It's like the fucking Gronkowskis.
Well,
actually, it's really more like the O'Doyles.
Well, let me fill you in. Let me fill you in on this. So I didn't go down a deep rabbit hole, but I stuck one leg in the rabbit hole after I watched this video. Why? Well, because the video that I saw was after the foul. So I don't actually really know what happened. I think Jokic fouled Markieff Morris pretty hard. And, I know Marcus Morris played for the Celtics, but I don't give a fuck about the Celtics. I think it's pretty well known that the Morris brothers are pretty fucking dirty basketball players. Oh, by the way, this is the NBA, in case you guys are listening, have no idea. So Markieff Morris and Marcus Morris, I think they're twins. They're in the NBA. They're really good on defense. I think Markieff is probably a little bit better offensively, but it doesn't matter. They're not awesome. Like, they're not world beaters. They're just really good, like, fucking defensive guys. So they're also dirty, right? I think it's very well known around the league that both of them are dirty players. So I don't know if something happened earlier in the game or at a previous game, whatever, but Markieff Morris is on the court, and Nikola Jokic goes over and gives him like a really hard foul. Again, I haven't seen the video on the foul. I've only seen the aftermath. So the aftermath video is Markieff Morris laying on the ground. There's a bunch of like teammates around him, all this shit. Jimmy Butler is going off, right? Like, I think he's fucking flipping out, whatever. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe that was a different video because Markieff Morris isn't on the Heat. So regardless, doesn't matter. There's some shit going down on the court, right? And the video that I saw was from behind these two fucking jabronis, right? There's these two jabronis that are wearing Jokic jerseys that are like fucking pointing their finger, whatever, all this stuff. Then I find out that they're both Nikola Jokic's brothers, right? They're also massive. So I watched the video again because now I'm like, oh, they're his brothers. You know what I noticed? One of his brothers, the one that was closer to the screen, is covered, literally covered from the back of his neck, like up, like through his t-shirt, all the way down his, I would assume his back, all the way out his arms. He's wearing a t-shirt, covered in tattoos. So from like wrist all the way up neck, back of the neck, all that stuff in tattoos. So I'm like, well, that's interesting. That's something you don't see every day. So I look a little bit more. Where do you think Nikola Jokic and his brothers are from?
Somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. Serbia. To be precise.
And Montenegro or not?
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know anything about Serbia, it's, there was a whole revolution all throughout the 90s. It's probably a borderline third world country, the whole like Bosnia Herzegovina area. There's all kinds of crazy war-torn fucking civil wars. Serbia has been blown apart a million times. These guys grew up there, right? In Serbia. And you have this guy now who is covered from head to, I would say, toe in tattoos. What do you think they probably are involved in? The Serbian mob?
Yeah, I was going to say organized crime in Serbia.
Yeah, organized crime. I would bet a lot of money. Now, I've been on a pretty big cold streak recently, but I would bet a lot of money that his brothers are in some way tied to the Serbian mob. Because that, like I said, that's not something you see every day where dudes are literally covered in tattoos. Like, there's no fucking skin. So it's like one of those things where you're about to find out like real world shit, right? Because like the Morris brothers, I think, are from Philly. So like, oh, you grew up in Philadelphia. Like, oh yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's some really tough parts of Philly. There's some real shitty areas, but do you want to go try and live in Serbia amidst civil war?
Well, that's the thing, is assuming that's actually the case. Because it's like, again, the Morris brothers, they may have grown up in the worst part ever. But dude, they were out of there when they were 18. They went to Kansas. Life's been taking care of that for them since they were there. Yeah.
So like I said, you probably grew up. No, I'm pretty sure you grew up. You grew up pretty tough. I know for a fact you didn't grow up in the middle of a civil war in a war-torn country. Despite what some areas of Philly, they might look similar to Serbia. That's not Serbia in the 90s. I'll tell you that much. So you're fucked because there's a whole bunch of shit, like, because now they're shit talking. You know what I mean? They're all shit talking. And the Jokic brothers are like, oh, do you want to do that? Do you want it? Okay, meet me outside. Like legitimately. Like it's hilarious. So I haven't really been following it much in the last couple days because I've just been busy with a bunch of shit. But the like when it was all going down, I was like, oh man, this is juicy. I hope this turns into something fun. But like, talk about people that like you don't want to fuck with. It's like those Eastern Bloc fucking, mobsters. Like it's fucked. Like Serbian mob, Russian mob. Like those guys don't fuck around. They'll literally kill you and then go take a nap. Like it doesn't faze them.
So Jokic told a story. So the brother with the tattoos, I believe, is Strahinja.
Yeah.
And someone asked Jokic something about being afraid. He goes, "Why be afraid? I'm playing a game of basketball. I'm scared of only one person in my life. That's my brother. Have you seen him?" And he told a story. He once held my arms down and threw knives all around my head as punishment for refusing to climb a tree during a picnic.
Yeah.
It's like when we were in the dorm room and Dickie attacked Bill for not saying potato.
Yeah.
Bill, say potato. He wouldn't do it. And then he fucking attacked him. We had an all-out brawl in the fucking dorm room.
Except this was his brother and he threw knives
Throwing
at him.
knives. Yes.
Yeah. It's fucking wild. But yeah, go ahead. Markieff Morris, you want that smoke? Go for it.
Good guy, though, I will say.
Yeah. You want to wrap this up? Or you want to go for one? I could do one more and then wrap it up, or we could just go now.
It doesn't matter. I don't even know how long we've been recording for.
We're approaching an hour.
What do you want to do? Hit me with it.
We can wrap it up. We're good. This is good.
All right. Final thought.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the shit going on in Massachusetts with hockey?
Only from what you have sent in our group chat.
All right. So, in the last week, I have heard of 3 instances regarding Massachusetts hockey. One is Danvers High. Danvers High is under fire right now because the players, and I don't have every detail. I read an article, and I'm not going to pull it back up because I don't care. The article says that someone has come out, a player on Danvers High hockey from probably, I assume, last year or years before, whatever, talking about some of the shit they used to do in the locker room. One being Gay Tuesday. So Gay Tuesday, they would shut the lights off. Everyone would get naked, and the captains would go around and just, have a feel.
All right.
Okay? And then if you didn't want to participate in Gay Tuesday, a bunch of players on the team would just come over and beat the hell out of you.
Sick.
There was also Hard R Friday.
Yeah.
Where you'd go around the room. If you didn't drop an N-bomb with a hard R, they beat the hell out of you. Sometimes with dildos.
Oh, sick.
So the real issue is, first of all, you have sexual assault. That's number one.
Yeah.
Gay Tuesday is definitely sexual assault. The article also alleged that there was some anti-Semitism mixed in. The article didn't say how.
Yeah.
Because they covered, and then sexism as well. But again, they didn't cover that either.
Yeah.
So you have obviously sexual assault by the players on the team, but you also have the kid or whoever came out mentioning how coach walked in, lights are off on Gay Tuesday. Walks in, goes, "What the hell's going on here?" They go, "Coach, it's Gay Tuesday." And he goes, I don't want to know, and leaves. So on one end, I understand the reaction, but on another end, that coach is going to be in a lot of fucking trouble.
Yes.
So,
as he should be.
Yes, because when you go, I don't want to know about it, and you walk out, well, you needed to fucking ask a question or two.
Yeah.
It's not like they were fucking helmet boxing in there, and you go, I don't care, I'm leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we're talking actual issues. Like, if they were helmet, if he walks in and they were helmet boxing with the lights off, going, fuck it, I don't want to know.
Yeah. Which just seems dumb if you helmet box the lights off, but whatever.
Yeah, we did some dumb shit, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a lot. Well, I mean, we used to helmet box all the time.
So, a couple comments. One, these kids are morons. I don't understand any of it.
Nope.
I never understood any of it. But I also know that shit like this isn't that uncommon in hockey. And it's not that uncommon with kids.
Well, it's not that uncommon in any sport. Like I said, we used to helmet box in lacrosse.
Well, yeah, but helmet boxing isn't the issue.
Like we used to do some really fucked up shit in football too.
Yeah, I know you did. But so this is what happens though, and kids are too fucking stupid to know otherwise. So that's the main problem.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to hear Danvers High getting the equivalent of the death penalty.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
They might just cancel the hockey program.
Yeah. I mean,
but
at minimum, they should fire the fucking coach.
Dude, I think honestly, with how bad that is all set up, you probably just have to cancel the program. Truthfully.
Yeah.
Because how are you supposed to find? Because genuinely, everyone's involved.
Right.
And you're all and everyone. And again, it's like I know there's like a victim mentality, whatever, but everyone's complicit in it.
Yep.
So it's like, how do you fucking sort through that? You can't.
Yeah, you can't. You just got to nuke it.
So they should probably just suspend the program for fucking 2 years or something, 1 year, whatever it needs. So dumb thing, fucking kids are morons. But it doesn't just end with kids. So Tewksbury, rink in Tewksbury. So the New England Knights, they're out of Raynham. They're playing Junior Rangers, I think, Tewksbury. And there's a brawl on the ice. So
it happens. I mean, it's rare, but it happens.
It's at the end of the game. So every time it's at the end of the game, the bench is clear because the bench is clear anyway.
Yeah.
100% of the time at the end of the game that we've had a fight or something close to it, it is bench clearing.
Right.
Every time. Every fucking hockey fight.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't matter at that point because the game's over. Like, they're not going to fucking throw you out of the game.
in like, you don't get... So, like, if you get into a fight, you get whatever the fighting penalty is. If you jump the boards to fight, it's like a way worse penalty.
Yeah.
But everyone's already on the ice. So, whatever. It's a brawl. People like making it seem like it's more than it is. Dude, it's a hockey fight. We used to fight all the time. It's gloves and helmets.
Yeah.
Like, what is the worst that can happen?
It's gloves and helmets and kids in high school. Like,
I think these kids might have been younger, but dude, like that. I don't know. I do not get the fucking outrage.
No.
But like I said, kids are morons, right? Well,
yes.
Let's not let the parents off the hook because the parents decided that they wanted to get involved.
Sick.
So a couple kids are like coming off the ice and a couple parents are yelling at them. And then another parent's got to yell at that parent. And then they start fighting in the fucking stands.
Awesome.
And again, you people are idiots. But I remember when I was a kid in Reading, there was a parent fighting the bleachers and a guy fucking died. One of the
I think I do remember
killed.
that.
Yes, one of the fathers got killed.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, some of the people our age ended up playing with the kid. And no one needs to die because of a fight in the bleachers.
No, absolutely not.
No one needs to fight over youth hockey. Parents
No.
don't need to fight over youth hockey.
No.
So the third piece that I've seen was a video of a ref in a locker room who locked the door, sat in front of it, and called the fucking police. Because the parents and the kids are too out of control. There's nothing he can do about it.
Wow.
So the point of that post was from a hockey ref talking about how the state may run out of referees this year.
Jeez, we got a referee shortage.
We have a shortage of referees.
Yeah.
Referees are down 60%.
Holy shit.
So instead of 1,900 reps, you have about 600 reps or something. Whatever that math is.
Yeah.
So what that's going to mean in the youth programs and whatnot, you aren't playing hockey games. And why are the refs leaving? Because parents and coaches are fucking dickheads.
Yep.
It's not worth their fucking time anymore. It's not worth the headaches.
Yeah.
You people have become a fucking joke. And it's always been bad. Like hockey has always been bad. I've always noticed it. I've always seen it.
Yeah, hockey parents suck. Like they've
really,
always
really
been
fucking suck.
Yeah.
So I don't know what other sports are like. I know hockey's bad. And never mind, it's like, it's cold. You have to go late, you gotta go early, whatever. So in Massachusetts, we have a hockey issue. And I'm just gonna let you know, if you are at all involved in hockey, just don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
These refs work fucking part-time. A lot of times they were teachers or they're kids. And they don't need to fucking be there. And a lot of them are fucking realizing that. They don't need to be there, so they're not.
Exactly.
So now you're going to get refs doing like 8 games a day or whatever. Like, because some of them want to make money, but by the time they get to the 8th game, they're going to fucking lose their shit. They're going to fucking stab a coach.
Right. Or they're going to lock the locker room door and call the cops.
Yeah, and just be like, these guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So it's not a good week. Not a good week for hockey in Massachusetts.
No, that's a tough
go. The high school season hasn't even started yet. So
yeah, it's usually what, Thanksgiving?
Yeah, the Monday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
First day of tryouts.
Yeah. Pretty sick.
Yeah, so we're off to a good start. And it's going to be the rec leagues that suffer because they're not going to be able to get refs once high school starts because high school pays more. So they're not going to do the youth games and they're not going to be able to get refs, and then it's just going to be scrimmages.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for being fucking assholes and being the result why we can't have nice things. And that extends to hockey.
Yep.
The kids, the parents, you all suck.
Fuck you. All right. So my final thought is, so I'm trying to decide which one. Yeah, I'll do this one. I'll save the other one. So obviously, if you're not brand new to the show, we've been doing construction on the house for the last, upwards of 4 months plus, which if you notice, if you're on YouTube, you might notice the room behind me looks slightly different. All my clothes are gone. And then the other random bureau over, where's my hand? Over there is missing. That's because we're almost fucking done finally. May still have a few more recording things in here because I don't have a desk yet. Got to get a desk. But we're almost done, right? We're getting there. We've hit the legitimate home stretch. We got some furniture being delivered tomorrow or today when this comes out. All that fun stuff. Well, we finally got everything situated, all this, whatever. And I would say in the last week, we've realized that we have fucked up a little bit. So for 4 months, we've been struggling. Like, the biggest thing is like food, right? Because you're like, oh, what are we going to eat? We didn't have a kitchen forever. Then we kind of had a quasi kitchen with like a microwave and a fridge. And then now we're good. I don't have to get into the whole fucking story, but I spent fucking 6 hours getting a brand new stove today because we set up the whole fucking kitchen and the stove shits the bed this morning at, 8:00 in the morning, 8:30. So from about 9:00 until about 2:30 in the afternoon, I was dealing with that stove bullshit, whatever. That's all good. We got a brand new stove. All that's in. Food's been kind of tough, right? So, me and Amy are looking at each other like, I don't really feel like cooking anything right now. We're both fucking tired. Like, let's just go to Target. So we go to Target to grab some food. We come back. We got some stuff. It's all Target brand stuff. And we've noticed. So we made the change like last week. Like I needed to grab something. Oh, I wanted to get like mac and cheese for like a side of something. So I was like, oh, whatever. Like I'll just grab like the Target brand fucking white cheddar mac and cheese. We get it. Holy fucking shit. It was delicious. So then the other day, Amy's like, I want soup, whatever. She goes and gets tomato soup, Target brand. Holy fucking shit, it's delicious. So tonight we're like, let's just go. We grab a couple things from Target, all microwavable shit. And she made the joke like, we finally have a fucking kitchen, a fully functioning kitchen, and we get microwave shit. And I go, yeah, old habits die hard. But it's all Target brand. And it was all fucking delicious. So now I looked at her and I go, I'm kind of fucking pissed that we've been like struggling to come up with like different ideas and like how to make some different stuff and recipe this and all do that with like a microwave and a fucking Traeger and a fridge. And all we had to do this whole fucking time was go to Target and buy Target brand food and have it just be delicious. So fuck me, one, but two, kudos to Target for having like, you know what I mean? Like Target brand stuff is legit. It's fucking good. So I had no idea until last week. And then tonight solidified it for me.
So follow-up question on the Target thing, an observation of mine. Does the Target near you have like refrigerated stuff and fresh stuff and shit like that?
Yeah, they have a full grocery section.
Is there anything actually in those sections?
There's a lot of empty area from time to time. Yeah.
So we went to Target in Westwood yesterday. Now we didn't need anything, but I looked in what would be the refrigerated aisle. Literally fucking empty.
Yeah. Ours isn't totally empty, but there's a lot of open spots.
Okay. So this place, I'm fucking serious. One side was all empty.
Well, there's a shortage. There was a soup shortage over the weekend or the other day. Did you know about that?
Soup sucks.
Because that's when we ended up going to Target last week and Amy got the Target brand tomato soup was because whatever, like I said, she just wanted soup. So I go, all right, Panera is like across the street. Panera soups are great. Well, Panera was all out of soup. And then we're like, all right, well, Applebee's isn't that far away. Let's try Applebee's. They had no soup. So then we were like, well, the 99 is also not that far away, but like their soup kind of sucks. So fuck them. That's how we ended up going to Target. And the only thing in Target was the Target brand stuff. And that's where we're like, wow, this stuff is really fucking good. So that's how we figured it out. So there was a soup shortage in case you weren't aware.
Well, there's a shortage. So I think this is what I was trying to figure out. With the refrigerated section being fucking empty, paper towels were empty, so we're doing that shit again.
Yeah. I noticed that at Market Basket yesterday. They had limits on all the stuff. They had they had a limit of 4 on the gallons of water. There were no brands of toilet paper left. It was only Market Basket brand toilet paper. And the paper towels were scant at best.
Yeah. So I was wondering, Is all the refrigerated shit at Target, is that a function of lack of supply, or is Target realizing that they are not Walmart and then that they are not going to actually sell all this shit the way they probably envisioned that they would?
Yeah.
And they're putting less of a priority on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Maybe.
I don't know. Figure it's probably just the supply chain though, because they'll just fucking put the shit out there, and if it goes bad, they'll just write it off as lost.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So, Target brand food. I think it's called Good and Gather. Is their brand?
Probably.
Delicious. Delicious stuff.
I think like the Up and Up is their like goods.
Yeah. Yep. So there you have it. Target brand smacks. And we wasted fucking 4+ months trying to find other shit. So
yeah, but at the same time, you probably want to be like cooking. You don't want to just eat fucking.
Yeah, no, that's true too. Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking frozen. You know what you would be telling me? It's like, oh man, if I have to see another fucking Good and Gather box of anything, I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly. Probably.
No, because seriously, like even Amy, how many fucking tomato soups can you really eat? Like one every fucking 2 months.
Yeah.
Of winter months.
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah, you're not eating fucking tomato soup in July.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us today, kids. Big thank you to grillyourassoff.com. That's probably why I always wanted to find other food, because I wanted to use grillyourassoff.com. Well, not .com. I wanted to use the Grill Your Ass Off seasonings that you can find at grillyourassoff.com. When you use our promo code SarcasmPod, you get 15% off your entire order. It's a multi-use discount. It's not a one-time only. Every single time you buy stuff from Grill Your Ass Off, you use our promo code SarcasmPod, you get 15% off. Whether it's seasonings, t-shirts, hats, mugs, all that other shit, accoutrements, Sarcasm Pod gets you 15% off over there. Also, thank you to mybookie.com, who has been taking a lot of my money recently after I took a lot of money from them. I've been giving it all back in the last 2 weeks. So if you want to try and take some money from them, go to mybookie.com, use our promo code SarcasmPod, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So again, same promo code SarcasmPod over there at mybookie.com, doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. Let us know if you want in on our weekly pick'em pool. I'm convinced that people probably don't listen to the show this far once I start doing like the closeout. Because I've been saying, let us know if you want in on the pick'em pool, and no one has ever said they want in on the pick'em pool. But fuck you then. We got plenty of people. We got like 20 people right now. It's $5 a week. We've only had 2 repeat winners, I think, so far this season. I
don't know. Yours truly is one of them.
Yeah, you are one of them. So yeah, it's $5. Play as many weeks as you want. No commitment. Let us know. We'll get you the info. Get signed up. If you do listen to the show and you are in the pool, don't forget your picks. Here's your reminder. Get your picks in. Even though this is going to be Monday's episode. Who cares? Get your picks in. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_Speaks. Our Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, good night, everybody.